Alright guys, Bjorn here, back with more Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Vinci Disappearance. Let's continue on. But yeah, it's nighttime now, just got home from work. Literally just got home from work. It's 11:07. Literally got home, took a shower, made a sandwich, ate a sandwich. Here we are. Like, that's pretty much all I've done.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Now again, I am hopeful about this new connection to Tyler because I think that Tyler recognizes his
obviously the plan is to finish Brotherhood tonight. We're in a position where we can. We have about 2 hours left, or 2.5 hours left of gameplay, so. What am I doing? I'm not even paying attention. I'm still listening to, I'm just listening to the LC Roundtable. I'm about 30 minutes in or so.
Speaking of bad gameplay, we've been watching David in the house this week.
Let's actually pay attention this time.
He has had some interesting encounters with some of the other players, Janelle and Kaser in particular. Melissa, once upon a time, you gave David a 7 out of 10, thinking that he was a 7 out of 10 player. You have recently issued a statement apologizing for this take, and you know, we do all appreciate the apology.
Oh, fuck off. What the fuck?
Melissa, what are your thoughts now?
Look, all I can say is I was wrong, and I'm sorry, and I think at this point we need to move forward and build
Tukana sent it to me as a
new
present.
foundation.
I want it out of my house. We will be glad to add it to our
Totally
collection.
wrong
As agreed, the
about
master
David.
waits at your palazzo to take it off your hands.
I
She
am
thought
so
I would be
ashamed.
pleased with such a
I'm
gift
embarrassed.
after she married another man?
I
The
really
ways
felt
of
like I
men
had to
and
issue
women
that
are
apology
strange.
today,
As Hermes teaches us that through
now I
careful
hope
study,
people
both may be brought
understand
into
that it
harmony.
really came prematurely.
Doubtless, one such as
and
Lucrezia
look,
has
my
never
initial
crossed your path.
rating of him did come from a true place. The thing that gets to me the most about David is that at the end of his last season, he was like, I mean, when he was leaving, he was crying and saying like he wishes that he could have, you know, done something, like he really felt like he could have made a move in this game, like whatever, like done something big, etc., etc. Seemed like he really understood the gravity of him leaving so early and that he really wanted to play. So I just felt like, well,
fuck
this guy
off,
didn't get a chance
game.
to play,
Whatever.
number one. And number two, while he was in the house, he was able to really pick up on the various alliances and the relationships and like really what
fuck
dynamics
off,
going on in the
game.
house. So I thought this guy's smart and he wants to play and he wants to be there and he didn't get his shot. And that's what I felt like, okay? And then now I know that he doesn't care about the game literally at all. Because if he cared about the game, he would have done some research once he found out he was going to be on the show. He would have watched literally one season of Big Brother to prepare himself for All-Stars. He would have known about Janelle, he would have known about Kaser, he would have known about all these various, like, things that happened in Big Brother history. It makes me so angry that he basically just took this chance that a lot of people, like, a ton
What's going
of
on?
people, thousands of people, hundreds, whatever, I don't know,
Come
would
with
have,
me.
like, given anything to get this chance, and especially to get this chance to play on an all-star season, and he basically just, like, threw it in the garbage. He didn't care. He didn't do the research. He didn't even think, like, I mean, he had his phone at the point where people were finding out who else was in the house, like the rumors and stuff. He could have looked up any of them to see, like, what they did or even what their names are, and he didn't do that. And not only was he woefully underprepared, basically not prepared at all, coming into the house, now that he's in the
How did
house,
this work out?
he's acting like he's some amazing strategic player and telling, like, Janelle and Kaser that they need to, like, build credit with him or something, and that people are coming, people are coming to him with, like, alliances and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I don't really see the benefit of me working with you guys, so no, I'm not gonna do that. It's like, are you an idiot? What are you doing? Like, why aren't you even taking, like, Tyler even says, like, and Tyler's a great player, Tyler says, like, if you get an alliance, like, fake it. You don't have to actually mean it, but you don't just like push your hand in their face. Like it is so bad to watch.
Oh my fucking god,
so
can we
bad.
fucking get to the end of this
He needs
already?
to go. He needs to go.
Melissa, look, if I were to give you
I'm saying not much change. Obviously, still plan is tomorrow night. I don't work,
You
so
could give me advice
plan
on
is still
podcasting. That'd be like if I
to
turned to
write my
you and
Brotherhood
was like,
video. Obviously,
Karen,
finish Brotherhood tonight.
let me give you some advice
You
on
will
how to
complete
post
the
more
sale?
content.
Of course.
Do my Brotherhood video, write my Brotherhood video tomorrow. Get all that
The
prepped.
error lies in
In the morning, I'll probably play some
Yakuza
Yakuza 0.
Such untruths
See if I can get
I will
into
say
it.
too,
a little more than a
you
name.
know, I don't
These
remember
countries,
if
these
I
groups make
talked
such
about it because I
easy
do remember
targets for
wanting
the
to give
lazy
David the benefit of the
and
doubt, but I
ignorant.
definitely talked about it with some people.
You should
at
tell
the
her
very least,
that,
I was always
the
a little
high and mighty
skeptical
Duchessa.
of
Putana!
David's read
I have changed my
on
mind.
the
That
house,
painting does not deserve to
his
belong to
original season.
anyone.
That what I heard from him in the diary room was not what I saw
Take the
from
painting
him
and examine it
in
for
the
clues.
house itself.
Be careful.
And
Human hands
I
aided by a
think-
fierce intelligence made that.
tell me if I'm wrong
Treat
here.
it with
I
respect.
think the way that
Go.
David speaks, I do believe he's a smart guy. I really do. I think that he is just very bad at communicating, and I think he's very bad at the game. But he can speak in a way, like he's a very thoughtful guy, and he likes to speak with big words. And I think
Okay.
that what we saw from David in the diary room of Big Brother 21 is that he was saying something along the lines of, well, look, we've got some people in the house that, you know, there's things going on that I can see.
And we all took it as like, yes, there is things going on. Oh my god!
Yeah.
And really, he was just like making stuff up, like talking out of the side of his mouth. Like he literally just was just like saying.
Well, that wasn't
Listen,
beneficial at
he-
all.
I think part of the problem is the fact that he believes us. Like, David believes Twitter that he's
No,
an excellent
we
reader
have
of
done
the
this.
game.
We have done this. We created this.
It's us,
monster.
totally us, yeah.
We
It really is.
created. This is our Frankenstein.
Well, he was like, this is the problem with David trying to communicate. Is I'm trying to do an impression of David, and it keeps getting interrupted. And that's what happens when David tries to talk, because he speaks so slowly. I can't even do an impersonation of him because it's not good
We'll
enough
be quiet.
podcasting.
Go, do David for the next.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it was really a funnier point to make that than to actually do the thing. But
I just
basically what I think happened is that David spoke a lot of words in the diary room and threw out a lot of different scenarios and kind of spoke in an intelligent way, but you know, in the way that he does. And they threw together a diary room of him sounding like a genius. And like I said, I never saw that in the house itself. I never saw him act on this information. I never saw him do anything that was particularly impressive. And I think the Big Brother production created this particular monster, and I think that we willingly ate it up because it was shown to us on the screen that we eat. So that's my personal theory. Like I said, I think like perfectly fine guy, but Big Brother player.
He's
Right,
an
that's the thing.
infuriating Big Brother player.
Nice guy, smart guy in real life, whatever. But Big Brother is not for him, and he doesn't care about it, so that's fine then. And I should have known that this was going to happen when, during his introduction for this season, he literally didn't tell us that he prepared for this at all. He just said he went hiking, which doesn't help him at all in the Big Brother house. He said he like meditated or something. I don't know, but that's like a
I'm
read a
voting
book.
out that rock.
Like, it's like that literally doesn't do anything to prepare you for Big Brother. Like, I was ready for him to be like, I didn't get my shot last time, so I've been, like, studying, I've been, like, doing the work, I've been talking with past Big Brother players, whatever he wants to say, and just, like, preparing himself for the game, and I didn't get any of that in the intro, and I thought maybe because the house guests didn't practice themselves, like, maybe he just didn't really know what to say, and was just, like, nervous or something, but he doesn't care.
And I will also say, for as good a guy I'm sure he is on the outside, I don't love his attitude,
Buongiorno.
the way that he talks
Vite
to
home
Janelle.
Francesco Colonna.
It was.
It is
But
very
now the bank's on
unfortunate,
everything.
in the
We have
way
lost
that he
it
tries-
all.
that he talks to them. It's-
Even
I
the
mean,
Da
it's
Vinci
very-
paintings.
Ella
it's
ser
very
parte,
reminiscent
signore
of Nicole
Schiaretti.
Anthony, where
an
it's like,
interesting
he
nonetheless.
feels like he's in the right.
The three paintings
and
were put
that-
up for
and that
auction
means
and
that he
purchased by a
has the
merchant of
right
Firenze.
to speak
He
to them
prepares
in
to
a way
set
that is
sail
very
from the
See, I'm still
humble
downloading
and,
stuff from my hard drive. It's
and-
almost done. Almost fucking done. Only 6 more things need to be downloaded. The problem is that almost all of them are like 40, 50 gigs. I think like the 6 things total like 140 gigs. So yeah, an average around 40.
Thought, right? And then as he's saying the thought, he'll like he's like in a car.
It's like what's left. It's Wolfenstein: The New Order.
Then he'll move to the right. He'll move to the left
Okay,
again.
I'm trying to think of what's left. It's Wolfenstein: New Order. Okay, fuck off with this.
And at the end of it, it honestly just sounds like a bunch of word salad. I'm like, what did he even say there?
Wolfenstein: New Order. The Quiet Man.
A lot of times, you're right. He talks damn slow.
I remember it's 3 patches and 3 actual games. So Wolfenstein: New Order. What's the last game? Oh, the Evil Within. Evil Within's lab again. So Quiet Man, Evil Within, and Wolfenstein: New Order. And then the 3 patches are Monster Hunter World, Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think that's. On an emotional level. There's no way he can do that. And I really fear for him as far as like not necessarily his place in the game. I don't think anybody's just coming after him because oh, is this the Duccio? Yeah, it is Duccio.
After at this point. But as far as him like actually winning
Ezio Auditore.
There's no way.
please show me
Come
this
back
man.
down to the harbor
There's no
when I
way.
return to
There's
Rome.
no possible
I will show
way.
you the
No
inside.
way. I mean,
Um,
imagine him in jury questioning too.
Living in
Like,
this
he would just, like, be
third-rate
super
city
condescending
instead
and
of beautiful
say, like,
Firenze.
5 words and
Most of the
How
thing about
low
jury
you have
votes
sunk.
is that
Duccio.
that's
We're
We're
exactly.
not children anymore.
you'll
Look around.
Julia's like, time's
I
up,
have
time's
helped
up,
this
David.
time.
All right, next
And
question.
you all alone.
wait.
I am warning you.
Alright.
Oh, we are
He's
only
like, Julie, let me
talking, are
explain
we
to you a
not?
thing or two about hosting.
I see this
Fuck,
place
who's
has worked its magic
wait,
on your
Wolfen?
system.
Monster Hunter World, Kingdom Come
I did not
Deliverance,
want to
and Final Fantasy
overplay
7, or Final Fantasy 15. Sorry.
But now,
So yeah, that's
she
all the
is
fluff.
Madame
This
of
one.
Rome.
Way back in season 8, actually purchased
Cazzo!
the dress that
Why are you
Janelle
just standing
wore,
there? Eat him!
in her original season at the finale. The actual dress, she purchased it from
You
the
can
auction
hit me,
and then
but that
wore
does
it
not
on
mean
the finale
Firenze
night
will
of
take
Big
you
Brother.
back.
I forgot about that actually. I knew that, but it's like I kind of forgot about
She was
that.
a big fan of Janelle, and basically what I'm trying to say here is that we talk about this all the time in a very sort of exaggerated way, but Danny is truly a Janelle stan, right?
Yeah.
Like in the truest sense of the word.
Truest sense of the word, yeah.
Where she literally bought the actual dress, wore it on finale night, now is here with Janelle, and she wants to become her, I think.
Yeah, she wants to become the new Janelle. Yeah.
She had that interview or whatever where she said she wanted to be the #1 like female Big Brother
Queen of Big
player.
Brother.
Dirty Roman!
New Queen of Big Brother, yeah.
That's not happening. And Danny might win this season, but like I mean, you can't. They're 2 different players. Like they're 2 different types of players.
Are they though?
Janelle is like Janelle.
Right.
But Janelle is
Yeah,
Janelle.
Janelle's the worst player.
Terry, that's such a great analogy for like the original Eminem.
Like I think this season really solidified to me that Janelle really just isn't a good
You
player.
were of us,
Think about
but
Danny
we all knew you were
Stan,
outside.
man. Like that's such a good. I'm like, I totally like. I'm like the lyrics to the song are like going through my head right now. No, that's totally Danny. God.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like there's no way that anybody could beat Janelle. I just feel like it's not about like whether you're the best Big Brother player. Like
Because
whether you're
Janelle
the Big
isn't
Brother player.
the best
Like,
Big Brother, but
I don't even think Janelle is the best Big Brother female
Get
player.
it!
She isn't.
She's just Janelle. Like
I don't even know if she's in the top 10.
Even if Danny like wins the season, kicks out Janelle, whatever, it's like
Actually, now that I think about it, is she even in the top 10?
style.
I think it's kind of funny because I don't think she is, for me at least.
There to compare. I don't know.
Alright, let's run through the state of the house here. We've got a lot of alliances that have stayed the same, but a couple of new ones to talk about. We of course have the core 4, Cody, Enzo,
You are
Franzel,
going to shut your mouth
Nicole,
and give me what
and
I
Danny.
want.
We've got
3 Da
the
Vinci
Slick
paintings.
6, Cody, Tyler,
One
Enzo,
is
Day,
on the boat.
Faye, and
The
Danny.
other 2
This
were
one
sold
is
to a
mostly
cardinal.
fake,
He
but,
is displaying them for high-ranking
of
members
Devon
of
and
the church.
Bailey, it's
How
real.
do I get in?
We've got the committee.
How should I know?
Memphis, Christmas,
Go
Tyler,
ask your
Cody,
whore of a
Danny,
sister.
and Nicole.
I am
The
sure she
commission,
has slept with a
which
couple
is
of
Memphis and
gardeners.
Cody. The Carolinas, newly named alliance. alliance between Tyler and Christmas. Christmas being Tyler's new Casey, and he's even named the alliance based on their geography, like the one with Casey. So that's working out. We've got the Million Club, Ian and Nicole, Davon and Bailey. They don't really refer to their alliance by the name ever, but they originally called it Black Girl Magic. They are now kind of pushing David out. I used to include David under them, and actually replacing him, I guess,
with Tyler.
Tyler. So Tyler, kind of a new addition to that. We've got Cody and Enzo. They are the root, but they also have Tyler as kind of a third. That's a guy's thing, and then they kind of have David as a loose fourth. Enzo likes to call them team sports. That was an early thing that happened. They were in a room and it was freezing. But that's barely a thing. The further out you get from Cody and Enzo, the weaker this tie is. And then of course you have Tyler and David. You know, I mean, Tyler's trying. And you have Nicole and Christmas, a new Final Two made just earlier today.
Oh, really?
Christmas offered a Final Two to Nicole, and Nicole was like Jessica from last season. She was like, "Oh, I've been waiting for this moment. I invited you to my wedding, and I was, if this had taken any more days, then things would have been bad." So that's going on there, and there's another new alliance that's also called, that one's called 4 Prime, and that is Ian, Nicole, Cody, and Danny, and that is what Ian thinks, I guess, is running the house, to sort of pacify him. So there you go. That's the state of the house.
I will say that, I don't know, there was a morning update, maybe like 4 days ago, and at some point, the Slick Six was meeting, and you reminded us that Nicole Frenzel is not in it, and she's not in an alliance with Enzo at any point. Like, there's no alliance that exists that has Frenzel and Enzo.
Well, it's
The core 4.
Nicole and Enzo are in the core 4.
Yes, I know that, but that has the people that I was talking about in this specific feedback, or in this specific morning update, is what I'm trying to get to. Point being that there's so many configurations of these specific alliances that it's almost head-turning. I honestly can't keep track of them all. I had to literally look up who was in the core 4, or sorry, not the core 4, the 4 Prime. I always said core 4. 4 Prime. They always have too many damn core names. I'm so frustrated. Because it's not real.
Wait, where am I going right now?
Ian, and it's a facade. And again, I don't even know what's going on with him.
It
Oh,
feels
it's
like
right
all
there.
these are like so pointless because they're all just like overlapping things. I mean, if I was in the house, there's no way I'd be able to keep track of all these. I feel like, especially for like Tyler and Cody, and like they're just like it's like one after the other. Like I mean,
Buongiorno.
how do they know?
You ladies
which
heard of
alliance
an
are
art
they talking
viewing
to
somewhere in
at
the
any point
city.
time, just 'cause, like,
You have
each
returned to
alliance is
Roma.
literally the same except for
With
one
just
person
enough time to
swapped
visit
out.
you.
Who's in the most? I think it's Cody, right?
It would be
Ezio.
Cody, yeah.
Do not lie to
Cody
me.
followed by
You need to get inside the
I'll say
private
Danny.
showing
my
of the
guess,
Vinci
and then
paintings.
There is a
Danny.
viewing at the Castel
The thing about
Sant'Angelo
Enzo
later
is even
today.
the alliances that
You will need
he's
an
not
invitation.
in,
Fortunately, I know where you can procure one.
but I like it.
It will give you access to the lower floors. Only cardinals are allowed higher.
I
I
feel
knew I
like
could count on you.
in so many of the alliances,
Si, si.
like it's
Some of my
basically
girls
like
will accompany you.
Cody,
Buona fortuna,
Nicole,
and
Danny,
don't get caught.
like just being moved around.
I mean, the core 4 is truly the core 4. That like Enzo and Nicole are left out of respectively the commission and respectively the commission and the Slick Six, but they, like it's the core 4 that are the core of the house.
Yeah.
So that's what we got, and so keep an eye on the core 4, and that's why like Tyler truly is on the outside of that, and that's why he does need some numbers, and even if
I feel like he's making a mistake this week getting rid of now.
I disagree.
I feel like if there was a way that he could improve his drama, yes, he found a way to keep Janelle and Pacer in the house as a bigger target, because I do feel like he's losing somebody from more his side of the house, something that
Janelle's not on any of their sides.
Somewhere in the house where he could work with them. I feel like if here's the thing, if push comes to shove, I feel like Janelle and Kaser, if they were left in the house this week, would be more loyal to Bailey and thus Tyler. They would need to like Danny, so that would be something that would protect Tyler. As it stands, Janelle's probably gonna go home. Tyler is looking a little more vulnerable than I thought he was, even at this early stage.
Are you saying that the best player in the house, who everyone sees as a big target but wants to work with him anyway, is being forced into a situation where he needs to take out Janelle, and he's gonna do it anyway, but probably get through and maybe make it to the end? Are we watching Big Brother 14?
I mean, like as long as we get the right results, because Big Brother 14 seems to be satisfied at the end. Like, you know, there were some other extreme things that happened at the end of it. Look, I know people don't believe it when I say this, but it is true. There are so many annoying people that if Tyler got to the end and he won, it wouldn't be a bad result. It really wouldn't. I'd be happy for him because he played a winning game in Big Brother 20. He really should have won that. And
I think if he wins this season, I think he's the best player of all time. I don't even think there's a question for me that if he wins this season, he's the best of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know if I see another out for Tyler this week, winning HOH, Janelle being so close, knowing that he was in a lot of danger if Janelle or Kaser won. Like, even just from his perspective, like, how can he trust Janelle and Kaser?
I should have gotten the crossbow. Shit. Do I have enough money for a crossbow?
He did try to work with them at the start, and then they just kind of turned around out of nowhere and started throwing his name out. So from his perspective, he just like, why take that gamble? But they were true though.
Like the thing that Tyler, if I were Tyler, I would recognize is, yeah, they were throwing my name out, but
he wasn't though at the time.
He really wasn't at the time. Like, I mean, we talked about it a lot, that he was really just sitting on his hands and not doing anything. He had a couple of conversations with Cody, but he also had a couple of conversations with Kaser and with Janelle. And, you know, they were all pretty similar conversations of like, hey, let's work together, let's make this thing happen.
In some ways, I talked about the self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, I feel like in some ways it happened with Tyler too, where like we saw him and Cody have, you know, feast them on. Cody's the new HOH. We see them walk to the store. We see them roll off. Kaser comes in right after, and we're like, oh my god, here we go.
The invitation is not here.
He's got it all figured out. He's gonna buddy up to the HOH.
I will deliver it to Signore.
Slick as a willy. He's gonna be slick, and you know, he's gonna be safe again. And of course he was. I thought for sure that if Tyler came back, that people would see him as a big
No,
threat.
fuck off, game. I knew it was gonna do that the last second too. It's gonna change the target.
It's taken like a couple of amazing wins / performances to remind people how good he truly is.
Now, the thing to remember about Tyler in the first week, right, is that he wanted to work with Kaser and Janelle, but at that time, it wasn't Cody versus Kaser and Janelle, and Tyler didn't, or at least it wasn't publicly Cody versus Kaser and Janelle, and Tyler didn't know that Cody actually had wanted to put Kaser on both
I always forget that. That always eludes me. I thought for sure that when Tyler used the restroom competition and Cody was HOH in the HOH room, and he came out and they talked about how like there was definitely animosity toward Kaser, like when Kaser came in and he heard that name, like, you know, he heard us like talking about what we were gonna do. Like obviously, like that would indicate to me that Kaser's definitely on the outs of whatever you're currently feeling, and I felt like Tyler knew that he was definitely gonna see that.
Because somebody mentioned that conversation, I went back to it to watch it because I was like, oh, I do kind of remember something like that. It was a 2-minute conversation, and the only mention of Kaser was, man, I hope he didn't catch us. That was it. Like, and then Cody talked about the people he was worried about were people like Christmas, and some others that weren't Kaser. And then the following day, after the safety competition, Cody said, I don't know why Kaser played. I thought we had a great conversation. Like, he was totally fine. And and he essentially lied to Tyler and pretended that Kaser wasn't there. So what Tyler wanted to do in that first week was, he was like, okay, Cody wants to work with me. Fine, great. He's HOH. I want to work with Kaser and Janelle. I want to try and get Kaser pulled in with Cody. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to be like, okay, Kaser, you played in that safety comp. I don't think you needed to, but here's what we should say to Cody to make it seem like you didn't do it because you didn't trust him. He goes up there, he vouches for Kaser with Cody, and you know, from there things just start to deteriorate, because at that point Kaser had already said that he doesn't trust Tyler and that he thinks that Tyler's working with Cody. He said that day 2, after Tyler had 2 conversations with Cody, and so from Tyler's perspective, you can see why he would be hesitant to go in this direction. And I think even if he did, I still don't know how he
Come
pulls
with
it
me.
off. That
Once we get inside,
that, like,
I will mark the
Cody
paintings
and
for
Danny
you
and
to
all these
steal.
people don't
Bring
go,
them to Leonardo's workshop.
whoa,
The people.
why are you not going after? They've been saying your name. Like, you obviously just made a deal with them. In addition to that, I think that Bailey coming to Tyler is happening because she's losing Janelle. And if she isn't losing Janelle, I don't know if she has as much incentive to go to Tyler or be loyal to Tyler.
Ugh, why couldn't it be
Invitation?
Janelle and Bailey and
Here.
Davon and Tyler brings David, because David's the sister of Tyler.
Oh, my.
And you have that whole group.
Come
going
back soon.
against The other group, like,
The house splits aren't cool, Melissa. That's so old school.
we love house splits.
Yes. All right. So that's where we are. Are we ready for the stock watch?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's get going with the stock watch. Here we go. Here we go.
Not on my watch.
All right. Let's start this time. I guess with
I have always
Tyler.
Yes, or
Your color 7 or 8? I don't
No,
know.
let's do Tyler. I'm gonna quickly reorganize my stats over here. Let's do Tyler, and we will start with you, Melissa.
Oh, I don't want to start this one. I don't. Can we start with the audience?
No, that's what I'm doing right now, Brent.
Oh, sorry. I'll start. Okay. So I gave Tyler a 7. I considered giving him a higher score, I must say.
By the way, I did already get spoiled that Tyler got an 8.
I considered giving him a 9. Like, I really was a fan of the way that
So,
Tyler played this week.
I actually still ended up
I think he
making
played
honor.
about as well as he could play. The
Stop
problem is,
watch.
I feel like he almost played it too well. Like, he showed his ability a little bit too much, and I don't really feel like there was a reason for him to do that. Like, honestly, who the hell cares about the veto? You know, whoever wins the veto, the other person's gonna go home. If Kaser wins the veto, Janelle's gonna go home. Janelle wins the veto, Kaser's gonna go home. Who the hell cares? You really don't care. You don't want to show people that you're a comp threat. You know, even though he did throw the eventual veto to Cody, I still think that he
The upper floors are now open to the Cardinals who wish to see additional.
Yeah, I do think his position is worse than it was last week. That's right. I don't remember if I gave him 7 or 8. I think I gave him an 8.
And outside the alliance, like Danny and Kevin both were within and without the alliance, are saying his name as somebody who they can't take to the end. That he's too good. We're gonna have to get rid of him. He's socially amazing. We all enjoy his company. He's a sweet guy. He's good at communicating with people. Keeps people around him that he trusts. Like, all of that it just made me feel good about Tyler, but he's so exposed, I do feel like.
Yeah, I think Tyler 100% wins if he gets to
Here's
the end.
my worry with
It's just a matter of getting
so,
there.
Janelle's gonna go home this week, right?
And I think he
I
has
don't know what
paths
Kaser
to get there.
Kaser may work with
But
Tyler, he may
I think
try.
he's also not
He may not, I don't know.
the most well
But
positioned to
I
prove him.
feel like there is a momentum for Davon and Bailey to go on the block on week 4. And if that happens,
Yeah, if that
that's not
happens,
good for
I
Tyler.
think Tyler's in a
I
bad
do
spot
think
at
that
that
he'll
point.
probably get his preference of the two of those, and that Davon would probably go home and Bailey would probably stay. But that's still not good for him. I feel like he's going to be losing agency, and he can't play for HOH next week anyway. So, overall, I couldn't give him anything higher than 7.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, Melissa.
I think. I don't remember giving him 7 or 8.
Because I feel like, from my perspective, not that much has changed in terms of, like, I don't feel like Janelle going home or Kaser going home really, like, shuffles things up or, like, you know, exposes people more than others necessarily. It kind of just feels like, okay, someone on the outside is leaving and everyone else is kind of just stationary. Like maybe they're building like small little alliances or whatever, but who knows what's real? And we won't know until like next week, or maybe we won't even know next week just because probably the remaining player of Pacer and Janelle will go home. So it's tough for me to like rate people because I feel like all I want to do is just like repeat most of the ratings from last week, and I'm trying to determine if I want to
it's that one.
change them. But I don't think Tyler's doing a great move for himself this week. I think that like overall, if that is the move he's going to make, which is to get rid of Pacer or Janelle, like he played it fine. Because whoever's remaining will probably want to work with him, but I do feel like he's kicking someone out that, and then yes, and this is why I'm struggling with the numbers, because what you were saying earlier, Taryn, right before this about how Tyler was, you know, like this is Tyler's perspective, it makes me kind of change my mind a little bit, just because like I can see that, I can see why he's like, these guys don't want to work with me, like I don't trust them, but in reality, I'm like, Tyler, like you're kicking out people who would want to work with you.
Are missing. Be on the lookout for a thief.
I'm starting to
that was
understand
terrible.
his move more there, but it's like I still don't think it's great for him because I think having Janelle in the house, like he's a big threat. Tyler's a huge threat, and he's kicking Janelle out of the house when she could be a shield for him.
I thought that was Bailey
Like,
Hay, by the way. That's why I
going
jumped.
from Big Brother All Stars, and it's like basically where Mike Boogie and Will are like, we're not working with Janelle, but we have to keep Janelle in the house because with Janelle in the house, she is a shield for Chilltown, and it's like that's what you would think Tyler
Well, but to be
should do, or
fair,
that's what I would
Janelle
think
also
Tyler
had a
should
much
do.
closer
And he's
working
not.
relationship
That's why I'm like,
with Chilltown
teetering
than
on the
they
edge
do
of
with
a 7 or
Tyler.
8. So I'm gonna give him a 7 and just keep my rating the same.
Okay. I am going to go with the 8. I think that he's playing very well considering his circumstances. I think that coming into this game, and people might disagree with this, but
Cool.
I've been pretty consistent from the start that I do think coming
Let's just
in,
go down normal.
losing Casey was a big blow to his game and really put him in a spot where he was always going to have to climb his way up. And I think we're seeing that right now, that he is in a group of people where he is not in control in the way that he was in Big Brother 20. And Tyler doesn't like that, because Tyler likes to have all of his pieces on the board, and his pieces are not on the board. They're sitting off on the side. The board, the core 4, does not involve Tyler. It involves Cody. Cody's in the Tyler spot right now, and Tyler will have to do something to replace Cody at some point if he wants to have that dominating position. And he is in this position where he does need to take out Janelle against what he wants to do, and he even recognizes, like, this sucks for me, but I don't have another option. I had to win this because they were going to put me on the block, and they were. And now that I have won this, I need to take out Janelle because that's the position I'm in. I blow up my entire game if I don't do this. So he's in the spot where he needs to make some other moves, and without this big Dave on thing, I would have given him a 7 because I do think that his position is deteriorating. I talk about this a lot on the Stock Watch, and I talked about it with JC a lot, that like JC was like in a great spot, but he wasn't end game material.
Fuck.
He wasn't in a great spot to win, and every week that went by that JC didn't make a move, didn't change things up, his rating started to deteriorate and decrease because he's going to run out of runway. Tyler is on that same trajectory. Tyler needs to do something to shake up the game and shake Cody out of his position if he wants to eventually do well and win this game. He's got some time, but he doesn't have a ton of time because he's got people like Danny breathing down his throat.
Are missing. Be on the lookout for a thief.
Breathing right down his throat. They're kissing.
On top of that, as Brent mentioned, he did really increase his threat level this week, and a lot of people are looking at him the way they should be, which is this guy is socially incredible, physically amazing, he's great at competitions, and Danny has even pointed out there's no way he's gonna win, he's gonna lose a jury People recognize that. So, Tyler, he's a great player. I really do feel like he's the best player in that house, but he's not on a trajectory to win right now. But he has a lot of pieces on the board.
I don't even think it's close. I think he's far and away the best player in the
Now
house.
it's 8, but every week that goes by that something doesn't shake up, it's going to go down, or it's going to slowly go down. It's not like it's going to go down to a 7 and then a 6 right away, but you will start to run out of room here. So, the audience is with me on this one. They gave Tyler an 8, which means that Tyler will remain at an 8 overall. Let's talk about Nicole. Melissa, how do you feel about Nicole?
I feel like Nicole's in a similar position as she was last week. I think that, I mean, if anything, she's doing a lot better just because if Janelle leaves, just because Janelle is her, like, #1 adversary in this game, and so that's really great for her that she's.
So I do have enough money to buy a crossbow.
She's basically getting Tyler to
Buying the crossbow makes the Cesare fight so fucking easy too.
really impressive.
But I think we're gonna actually avoid doing it though. Because I did say we were gonna do this playthrough without buying anything outside medicine. And we stuck to that, and we did that in AC2 also. So I think that's what we'll do. And we'll do the same thing in Revelations.
They're not seeing her as like Nicole the winner.
Ah fuck, I didn't mean to start that. Whatever, we're gonna do another episode after this anyway, so let's just end episode 61 for now. Thanks for watching.
So, you know,